Hello, Wankers.
What's up, Vankahs?
Greetings, Vankahs. Ooh, another one in the books. How you boys feeling? How is it feeling knowing that you discounted my boy, Lando Norris, all year long, and now he's got a 24-point lead going into the final three races? Do you have, Guenther, do you want to have any words of apology for Lando Norris at the top?
No apology, but I mean, I didn't believe in it that he can do this, but he's doing a fantastic job. And, I didn't think he can come back like this, but he did. I was wrong. So, but there is one more but. There is still 4 races to go.
Well, yeah, 3 and a sprint race. Yes.
Yeah,
3 and a
three at the sprint. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
3 in a sprint race. No, there's a lot of season left. Oscar Piastri still in this thing, despite Matt's, disheartened, feelings around this championship. There's much to discuss with regards to this Brazilian Grand Prix. There was the sprint race. There's the controversial penalty. There's John Elkann mouthing off about 2 of the best drivers in Formula One history. And there's McLaren chaos once again. And, of course, Max Verstappen proving that it's just his world and everyone else is living in it. This is, of course, Vankah Hours brought to you by BetMGM. We're going to be getting into all of that on today's episode. Let's cue the music.
No Fox smash my door. I'm Guenther fucking Steiner and I'm back for more. No Fox smash my door. I'm Guenther fucking Steiner and it's time for
And we're back. Okay, Guenther, we need your Rockstar and Wanker for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Guenther, who is your Rockstar for Brazil?
First, we have to tell the people to subscribe.
Oh,
you forgot that one. Yeah. Always the same with you. People, you need to subscribe. You cannot get the staff. Yeah, you cannot get the staff, But he's too busy doing other things, Brian. One day I will tell you what he's doing, who he's hanging out with, but not for today. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly. Not for today. Who is my rock star? I think you mentioned him before in the intro. I think it needs to be Lando.
Wow.
You will be feeling great now. You grew about 4 inches, So yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Proud man, Or your ego grew anyway, your head,
Well,
so.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Well,
where did he grow? What part of him grew?
You go out on a limb for part of me grew.
Yeah.
When
you go back on the camera, we cannot see you anymore. So yeah.
You go out on a limb on a guy, and I've gone on the roller coaster of him, but I mean, these last few weeks, he's starting to look like a champion, which I think was the thing that we were like, does this guy really have what it takes? And recently, he's looking like he's got what it takes. But talk to me about what have you seen from Lando these last few races?
Something I didn't expect I would see, because, obviously he struggled in season and he got his stuff back together. And, if he can hold it together, I think he's on the way to his world championship. Because, he didn't make one mistake the whole weekend last weekend, and hearing him talk, I don't know, in one of the interviews, I think it was after before the podium after the race when he said, all the noises, I just cut them out and I didn't listen to them. I think that is one of the things. If he did pretty well, because there was a lot of criticism, my included, so, it's like, I admit to that one, but he has proven me wrong and fair play to him, hats off. And,
he has proved you wrong, Guenther. He has proved you wrong.
And you as well, by the way. And you as well.
No.
Yeah,
I was doing a bit. Guenther, I want to ask you a question.
Is we, us,
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I was just going along with you for solidarity. I didn't want you to feel alone.
Alone.
But
you didn't want to leave me
I have
alone,
a question for you, Guenther. If Lando can pull this off, if he can turn this around, after 2024, he had a really fast car, but Max closed it out on him. 2025 with, the bad starts and the mistakes. And, if he can pull this off, have we ever seen a narrative switch like this? Have you ever seen a driver be able to switch the narrative like this? I mean, the only, I haven't been watching as long as you, but the only person I could think about, Jenson Button comes to mind. Everyone thought he was a bit of a pretty boy, a playboy. People didn't think that he had the sort of heart of a champion. And then with Braun, he stuck it out and was able to gut it out. I mean, Jenson Button was one that I thought of could like turn the narrative around. And then he fought Lewis pretty close in McLaren, and people started to respect him more. Is there anybody that you could think of that was able to flip the script quite like Lando Norris in your memory?
No, even the Jensen, as much as people, as you rightly said, thought he didn't have it, he had it, but he was sitting in a car, which at the time was just at an advantage, So he took that advantage home and, did a solid season, but he didn't switch it around from within the season. And the strange thing here is the switch between Oscar and Lando. What Oscar did until 5 races ago, now Lando is doing. Complete it's like let's switch role now. I'm the winner and I'm the loser. It's exactly, it's very weird. I've never seen anything like this, and I didn't expect it. I don't think many people expected this to happen, except Brian, obviously.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I knew the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, it goes. Obviously there's the Lando success. Right now, Oscar has been faltering, and I think you'd want to see Oscar kind of like get his stuff back, and we get like a real title challenge here. I guess, I don't know, if Lando can pull this off, let's say Oscar.
And don't forget Max. Don't forget Max in this.
Yeah, I think at this point, Max will need he'll need multiple miracles at this point. He's down almost 50 points. It's going to be it's a very tall order with only 3 weekends left, but let's say Oscar kind of like stays in his funk and Lando cruises to this victory. Where do you think this puts him? What does this do for his reputation? What does this do for his career? And what do you think it does for the future of McLaren going forward? If this is the vibe where like in this season and the two of them going back and forth, Lando is the one who actually came out on top. What do you think that spells for the future there?
I think, let's start with Oscar. I think if that is happening, he just needs to regroup over the winter and come back stronger than before. Otherwise, if he doesn't come back stronger, I think the best is he changes team then. That's my opinion about it, because otherwise you don't get it back. But he could come back because I still rate him highly. What does it do for Lando? Obviously, becoming world champion, it puts you in a different bracket of drivers. If you won a world championship, that where he will be, and I think his confidence will be very high. So what does it do for McLaren? For McLaren next year, as I continue to say, and I sound like a broken record, we don't know who is where next year with the new regulations. So, but for sure, it proves them right what they did, that they didn't interfere in the championship battle. They can go away with that one, and obviously I think they will milk that one if it happens. So, but no, but I think the winner will be Lando. He will be in that bracket of drivers which are world champions, and that and he fought for it. Everybody, not except you, everybody had written him off to win this championship. Yeah. So and now he came back, and that makes you even better. It wasn't an easy win.
Well, it's not a foregone conclusion yet. There's still a lot of season left, but we were talking about McLaren. I think it's good that we go into our wanker for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Guenther, who was your wanker for Brazil?
As normally, the FIA doesn't help, or the stewards don't help themselves. But I think everybody who listens to us is pretty bored that we say the same broken record. So we just replay that one from a different episode. It's the same thing. But I think the Wankers is McLaren. Why you don't go there and at least say something to the stewards? I mean, even Charles Leclerc said, I mean, it wasn't Oscar's fault, It's like, if the other driver, which was taken out, says, hey, nothing to do with him, maybe I was a little bit too optimistic. He didn't say that because he wouldn't admit to that one, but, 3 wide, and it's the first lap. I mean, at some stage, with all these rules and interpretation and 10 seconds instead of 5 and all that stuff, where does racing end, We just line up and we get away. Everybody gets away like they started. Make sure that you don't even look at anybody because you get a penalty. But the fans don't like that.
Guenther, I have a question for you. If Kevin Magnussen attempted that move for P2 on a restart and he got hit with a 10-second penalty, how would you have reacted in the moment?
In the moment, I would not only in the moment, at the end of the race. I mean, I would have gone to the stewards and, at some stage, the team didn't let me go to the stewards anymore. No, they said, Guenther, you're not allowed to go because I got penalties and I had to pay fines, and sooner or later, So they all told me, your opinion doesn't help and how you speak with the people. But in the end, if they are doing something which I think it's wrong, I need to tell them, and they are just like, no, we think we are right. And if you get all these bollocks as you normally get there, it's like, and as I say, it's not an easy job, and I'm not. I would never wanting to be a steward, especially working for free, But anyway, leave the money aside because that is a small element of it. But it's just, I would have gone there and I think I would have flipped out because for me it was just like, and then the guy which was taken out says, no, actually, Oscar's is not at fault. All right then.
Oh, I want to drill down into this because, I think a lot of listeners here will be like, well, silly Guenther, he always freaks out and, what does he know? But I think I want to also say that I think Christian Horner, no matter what Max did, wrong or right, he was all right until the day he was fired. He was coming out with the printouts and always defending his guy, no matter what Max did. And I think that always helped because I think stewards were always afraid to get into it with Red Bull. And I think that bought Max some cover. And I think we can rewind to Silverstone when Oscar got that 10-second penalty for the restart, and they didn't really complain. They didn't really do anything about that. And I think working the refs in sports is not only important to like make the refs think twice about doing a call, but I also think, there's a thing I don't know about in Formula One, Guenther, but in baseball, sometimes you get thrown out of the managers, they'll get thrown out of the game just to galvanize the locker room, right? To get the team to think that you're on their side. Like when a guy gets a bad call, sometimes it's just good for the players to think that the coach is on their side, has their back. So don't you think it's sometimes good for morale for the team principal to have their drivers back and for them to never complain and just to take every penalty lying down. I mean, we saw Carlos Sainz when he got that penalty. Williams went to the fucking mat and they got it reversed. Why does McLaren not seem to care?
I mean, you're fully right. It's psychological as well, Obviously, I overdid it sometimes, which doesn't help. But then stating the facts, it shows also that you know what you're doing. You show this and this is wrong. You give your point of view. Will you win it? You don't know. But you always have to try. That's my opinion. And as you say, not only the drivers, the whole team, the people at home, which have to come in on Monday to work again, they know that everybody's trying the best. It's not like, we let it go. I mean, why would I bother about it, Because for me, the key there is Charles Leclerc, which paid the price for it, says, I don't think it was he did anything wrong. I mean, who knows better than him? because he should be the crybaby and say, "Oh, I was taken out," No, he's the opposite. He says, "I did a maneuver which sometimes works and sometimes not." And I think obviously Kim is spinning around, but and didn't hit anything. Was lucky, or didn't break anything. Was lucky, But it's like you need to fight for your team, as you say. You need to fight. Everything is a fight, And knowing you will lose, fine. But they still try.
Well, it's also, I think, they've maybe set that precedent where, the work of, I don't want to make this call because I don't want to have to deal with Christian Horner, that was done years earlier. McLaren, I can't even remember, a time where McLaren's ever really gone to the mat they kind of have a deferential kind of attitude towards all of this. They'll go after other teams, like when they were going after Red Bull last year and saying, "Oh, there's that little screw element here or there," but they don't seem to have that kind of chirping at the ref kind of thing. Now, okay, I agree that this penalty should have been fought by McLaren. I think that the vibe that Oscar maybe feels like they don't fully have his back is starting to, maybe we're starting to see those effects on track, and this is further evidence of that. I want to get into the penalty itself, because I feel like there's a little bit of what's happening here as I've tried to kind of break it down and get into it. It feels like, off of just purely what's written in the rules, with the front axle has to be alongside the mirror. Ultimately, Oscar wasn't there. He broke a bit early, because basically how the rules are written, it kind of incentivizes the inside car to just not brake, or brake so late that you actually get your car there, and then all of a sudden you have all of the rights. We've seen Max Verstappen do that time and time and time again. It is a little bit maybe more dangerous, or it's a little bit more crash prone, and I think Oscar was in some way trying to prevent a crash, but also removing his rights from having that inside corner. And in his attempts to do that, he kind of sealed his fate. I think what's a little bit of what's happening when you say who knows the rules better than Charles Leclerc? I mean, Charles Leclerc knows the spirit of what the thing should be, right? But it feels like how the rules are currently written, they don't necessarily work towards that spirit. So I guess the question is, as you looked at that penalty, based off what the rules are, I know that you don't want them to throw penalties ever, but based off what the rules are, do you think that was right? And if you think that is wrong within the spirit of the rules, should they change that rule?
I would start with that. Yeah, they should change that rule, because now we're going to measure millimeters, and who has got the better measurement, who has got the latest and best angle to measure it. It's all that stuff. It's getting too complex. In the end, it's racing. What do we want to see? What does the fan want to see? It's racing. It's not like somebody, and as you explained, with braking, if he would have let go and being in front of the mirror, maybe he was right, so taking more risk. So where does it end? In the end, we want to see fair racing, and racing is not always fair. Sometimes, again, if you know that somebody's aggressive, you're more worried that the guy is coming, and you brake maybe if you're the opponent earlier or later or whatever you need to do. But if you just play it by the rules, it becomes the World Championship of who can interpret the rules best, and is that interesting? I do not think so. I mean, we want to see fair racing, and always interfering with. I think he was 5 millimeter behind the front mirror, behind the side mirror. Yeah, all right. Where did you measure? Where did I measure? Who measured? It's like it's at some stage in racing there needs to be the spirit of racing included. If somebody did it intentionally or completely stupid, didn't brake at all or something like this, but. Again, it's as I said, it's not easy, but at some stage we need to come to a conclusion there, because this is actually no fun.
Also, my understanding is that they're not hard and fast rules; these are guidelines. So there is a bit of common sense that should be applied. Also, the guidelines are about apexes,
but if you give, sorry, Matt, if you interrupt, but if you give a lawyer guidelines, he will make the guidelines a rule. The guidelines become a rule. A sophisticated guideline is a rule, and then with the precedent, we set a precedent, or last time we did it like this, so you have to do it like this again. So, and I'm always, the precedent counts, but it's like, was it the same scenario? Maybe not. Last time we did that, but it's not as easy.
It's interesting. I just see we've seen Max kind of know those rules, right? Like those guidelines, whatever. And we've seen him take corners where you're like, that's a crazy way to take that corner. But because he knows that this is what the rules are, and this is the place that I need to put myself in order to have the rights according to this rule book, this is where I need to be. And I don't know, I look back at that move from Oscar, and it was this aggressive move that I loved, but then he kind of backed out of it for caution. And it was almost a little bit like, I think that he's a little bit in this, he doesn't want to totally fuck up his championship chances, but then he makes the aggressive move and then makes a kind of unaggressive, he brakes way earlier than Kimi does in order to not throw himself in there. It just felt a little bit like it was, if you're going to make the aggressive move, make the full aggressive move. I think that Max Verstappen doesn't back out of that corner. I think he just shoves himself in there and says, Kimi be damned, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but maybe Oscar realized that he cannot make it stick, and just back out of it, not to destroy his race as well, But when you're going, that's what I call racing. That is one of the things we will never know what would have happened if he would stay on it without braking, Because maybe it would have been okay, but we will never know because we cannot replicate it, So that is racing if you cannot make it happen again. So, but also as you say. When you're there, it's like, should I do it, should I not? And you have got milliseconds to think. It's that, and it depends also in which state of mind you are, for sure. That influences your reaction or action to what you're doing.
Right. So, speaking of Max, can we go more? I think we've gone a little too long without, glazing him. Do we want to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've gone 20 minutes and we've gone too long. I can't believe we gave the Rockstar to Lando Norris from winning from pole, and we haven't discussed. We got to give a second Rockstar to Max Verstappen, don't we, Guenther?
I think the whole team deserves it because it wasn't him on his own. The whole team took him forward. I mean, they held him back. They all were held back in qualifying, and then they just come alive again, change the setup completely, stop from pit lane, put a new engine in, which McLaren obviously didn't like, and off he goes, But also the strategy was perfect. He had even a flat tire and he needed to come in, but maybe that helped as well. You can see it both way, So, but the whole team did a good job, and they believe that they can still do it, and he pulled it off, as normally. But we know, we know who Max is, so it's Super Max.
We know who Max is, but after he got knocked out in Q1,
he was not happy.
Which he had never. It's happened a few times. He's been knocked out in Q1, but never when he had put in laps. He'd had engine failures and crashes. It's happened, I think, maybe 6 times his entire career.
Or
never
a red
on
flag.
Has Max Verstappen ever not made it out of Q1? This happens in Brazil. The car seems like it's a mess. Good. How the fuck did they go from that Saturday tractor to that Sunday rocket ship? I mean, what? I can't help. It's baffling to me, given the Parc Fermé of it all, that they were able to turn this car from Saturday to Sunday. What did they do?
I guess they kept on working and found why the car had no balance on Saturday in qualifying and why he was unhappy. Therefore, it was the right decision to start from pit lane. He had not a lot to lose. Change everything you can. Put the setup on, because when you start from there, if you would have left the car like it was, I think he would be still driving in Brazil. So in the end, they changed everything, and he came home with the podium. But that's what I said. It's not only Max to give a second Rockstar of the week; it's the whole team, because they all worked hard. Because it's the engineers, which obviously he told them on Saturday. this fucking thing is undrivable. Change everything, and they need to make changes consciously, not just changing things without just to change because he says it. So I think they just got together and did a good job.
And when you say changing things, what are they changing? We know new engine, but what else? What else goes into changing?
I think the new engine had about 50 horsepower more, so it didn't,
No.
But anyway, that's what McLaren thinks. So it needs to go in the budget cup, But I don't know exactly what they changed, but obviously what you normally do, roll bars, ride height, wing settings. I don't know. I don't think they changed the actual wing. They left the same wings on, as far as I understood.
Well, what are you allowed to, I know the Parc Fermé is thrown around, and I think we know that you're not allowed
if you start from pit lane, you're allowed to change everything.
Oh.
Yeah, that's for the, In Parc Fermé, you can change everything you want on the car. In Parc Fermé. In Parc Fermé, then when you start from pit lane, sorry, I got confused.
I see. So if you start from the pit lane, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly, because you start from pit lane. So you change everything.
Right.
So, if you're in last place, why not do that all the time?
A lot of people do that. I mean, if you see it more and more, they do that, And obviously, if you have a car which is shit anyway at your last because you're that slow, I think. I mean, Alpine, they have been a lot of times last this year. They could change anything; it wouldn't make the car any better. So why would you start from pit lane? It doesn't. So I mean, they were actually pretty good in Brazil.
So how much of an advantage does a new engine give you, if not the 50 horsepower that McLaren claims?
They don't claim 50, but they said obviously a fresh engine, it's always a little bit more, but it's maybe it's in the single digits, in the lower single digits.
Yeah,
I mean,
I got you.
It's nothing big. But McLaren mainly complained about if you change an engine because of performance, it should go into the budget cup. Because if you change an engine because it is broke or you blow it up, it doesn't go into the budget cup. It stays in the engine, which is outside of the budget cup. But if you put a new engine in, they say the value of the engine should go against the budget cup. That is what I have to get it right. They didn't complain. They asked for clarification.
Well, they could have asked for some clarification on the rule book as opposed to worrying about Max's engine. That's,
Exactly, yeah. That's what I would have done, And obviously, Laurent could have said, the engine was broke. We had something broken. We had to change it instead of saying... Yeah, exactly. John dropped it, Oops,
exactly. Yeah.
That's right. Well, Max, I mean... It is going to take a bit of a miracle for Max Verstappen to actually win this championship. But this season, even if Max doesn't win, has solidified, in some ways, even more things for me about Max's greatness, about Max's standings as the greatest of this generation. What did this performance in Brazil say to you about Max Verstappen's legacy?
I mean, just what you said. I mean, look at the guy. I mean, he can pull stuff off nobody else can. I mean, I know that you guys are the big Yuki supporters, and I love Yuki. But look, I mean, he cannot pull it together. I mean, it's
well. Wait a minute. He didn't have a new engine. He didn't get any of the new setup stuff. Yuki was doing a lot of the data work for Max, so a lot of this could be said is an assist from Yuki, and Max couldn't have done it. And hey, wait a minute, Guenther. You said that this was a team effort, so he was also technically a rock star. Max couldn't have done this without Yuki.
The car was a mess in qualifying, and Yuki didn't go into the pit lane, so Yuki still had to drive that same fucking shitbox that Max couldn't even get out of Q1 with, based off of Parc Fermé.
Yeah, but I don't know Yuki's setup, so, and maybe he liked it, I have no idea.
There's no way he liked it. Yuki doesn't. No one likes driving that car other than Max Verstappen. This is. What
does that say about Max Verstappen?
That he's the best.
That he's the best.
So what does that say about Yuki Tsunoda?
he's
that
maybe
he is
second
a mere
best?
mortal like the rest of us.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that, you know,
Okay.
there are, you know,
No, but
he's Max
I
Verstappen.
don't know
he's
why
super
you're-
intelligent.
Why? Well, this is supposed to be the Max being amazing section. I don't know why you're kicking Yuki while he's down. This is
just to wind you two up. Because you know that I love Yuki. He's a very nice kid, but it's so difficult to do. But therefore, look at what Max is able to do.
Well, he got a 10-second.
I mean,
was that in here or was that in Mexico? He had a 10-second penalty. Then he came in and they did it wrong. He had to come in again.
Another one.
That's-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
come on, the kid couldn't catch a break.
Can't catch a break.
And he did the Lord's work in Brazil because Lance Stroll took out the young Brazilian king Gabriel Bortoleto, and then Yuki took out Lance Stroll. A little bit of
Got
payback
revenge.
because he,
Yes.
he knows how to respect the country and the place that he's in, which is why he said that he likes Captain America when we asked him what his favorite movie was when we were in America. The kid knows what's up. Okay, enough about this. Vankah's this season's getting good, baby. We don't know who's going to win this championship yet, but guess what? There's still money to be made on it, even on a Lando Norris championship bet. And we all know that the Vegas Grand Prix is coming up. There's so much exciting stuff happening in the Formula One world. Where is Ollie Bearman going to show up? Where's Max Verstappen going to finish? Where's George Russell going to finish? It's going to be a cold weather race. I think that Mercedes is going to be looking mighty quick. I think that Red Bull is going to be looking sexy as well. And as you know, we have teamed up with BetMGM, and we will be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we'll have a special offer for our listeners each week. And if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code Vankah and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You download the BetMGM app and sign up using the bonus code Vankah. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game or race, and you'll receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your first bet loses. Just make sure you use the bonus code Vankah when you sign up. BetMGM. Make it legendary.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 for New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. 21 and over only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF for Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 for Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
Let's get to our favorite segment, gas or break.
Oscar should leave McLaren after his contract is up.
Gas. Especially if he doesn't win the championship. I think he has got a good chance to get in any other good car. He's a good driver. And change sometimes is good. He's young enough. He can adapt to it, and he should, and I think he will. That's my opinion.
Yes, I think you should go where you're the prize, where you're wanted, and it doesn't seem like he's wanted. You go to a team where they stick up for you, where they care about you, where you're the prize. What I say, gas.
Yeah, like Ferrari, where the drivers are wanted. Oh, yeah.
Of course,
Right.
yes, exactly.
I'm going gas
just like Ferrari.
as well. Max Verstappen was on a podcast recently talking about, the difficulties of having two guys at the same point of their career and what goes into that and how it's just a recipe for chaos. We've seen it time and time again. McLaren they're not the exception to the rule. And it's been a mess for both of them, but Lord, if whoever wins this championship, if Oscar finds his way to come back and win this championship, then McLaren should just be in the business of actually picking their guy and having it be the thing. So if Lando wins this thing, I don't want any more fucking Michigas, and let Oscar go someplace where he's actually valued.
Wanted.
Next problem.
I think it's the first time we all three agree, or maybe
That's right.
second time. Yeah.
He needs to get out of there.
Yeah.
Next.
Get the fuck out of there, yeah.
Max will finish ahead of Oscar in the championship.
Gas.
Wow.
I mean, you guys saw what happened in Brazil. Or not in Brazil, the last four races, So why not? I mean, he continues to do it. If you say that Oscar is now, destroyed, mentally, I mean, Max will be ahead of him. Absolutely. And Max is motivated, like hell, as we can see in Brazil. He didn't give up after a crappy qualifying. He rolled his sleeve up with the help of Yuki, obviously, and made it better and finished on the podium.
That's right.
I'm going break because fuck you guys. Fuck you guys.
I'm going break as well. I think that he's got a 25-point gap to Oscar. That's still a lot. He's going to need luck, and I think that Oscar, I don't know if he can come back and win this championship, but I think that he's got at least one more Oscar Piastri as we have known him this year performance left in him. So I think that he's keeping that. I think it's still going to be a McLaren 1-2 in this championship. Next problem.
Red Bull should have left Max out on the mediums.
Break. No. I think the degradation was too high. I don't think, at best, nothing would have changed. At worst, he would have not been on the podium. So I think it was the right decision. I mean, starting from pit lane and finishing third, you always can, how much risk you want to take, and I don't think the risk would have worked out.
How do you feel knowing that Liam Lawson stayed out all that time?
How do I feel about that? But look at the deck of the tires, if you see it, and cars use the tires differently, and Max was on full attack mode,
Yeah.
Max was on full attack, and I don't know if Liam managed or, how he also start the tire off and all that. It's in the details. So too difficult to say sitting here being, what do you call it, armchair tire specialist, tire strategist. So my feeling is
that's my LinkedIn. That's on my LinkedIn. So
okay,
that's what I like to do.
That is on the weekend when next time I go to your LinkedIn and maybe I've got a link there so I can live see what you think about the tire strategy. I mean, I will tell Mario from Pirelli to contact you because they want some insight as well. But I honestly think they did a pretty good job with it.
I'm going gas. I think they should have left him. I mean, there was nothing better than seeing him in first place. That was one of the best moments of my life, watching him in first place. And I think everyone would have paid good money to see Lando Norris try to overtake him. And because we know he's had trouble doing that in the past. It's never been easy for Lando Norris to overtake Max Verstappen. It's always been a problem. It's always been an issue. Remember Austria?
What do you know about tires? I mean, what do you know about tires?
Okay, yeah. and then wait a minute. And then Antonelli. Could have Antonelli gotten by him? Maybe he could have held him off. I think the worst he could have done. I mean, you think he probably would have at worst. You think worse could have happened? He would have finished the same place, P3.
He could have been P4 because the deck was there, and then the tire would have been very, very old, very, very old. So and to overtake a car on old tires, if you have got 20 laps newer tires, is not difficult, I mean, for me, it's difficult. For them guys, I mean, yeah.
I'm going full fucking gas. Full throttle, pedal to the metal. I mean, he's going for glory here. This is like he's trying to stay in this championship, and then they're telling him, "Hey, we calculated." Listen, I think the Red Bull strategy team is amazing.
If they would have done that, you two guys, well, how stupid can they be?
What about clear air?
If he had a tire failure, I would have said, "Fuck yeah, for going for it." He was on lap 32 out of 70, so it would have had to be. What is that, 38 laps? That's a lot of laps. But Liam Lawson did way more laps than that on a medium. And I think I would have rather had Max Verstappen with the track position and let Lando Norris and Kimi Antonelli
get to the end with the medium. And you don't think that the mediums would have finished? I mean, how many laps was he on with the medium?
He came on like lap 32 and there's only 70 laps. I mean, Liam Lawson was on lap 19 to 70. He did on the mediums.
Yeah, but you need to look at the deck as well, what Liam Lawson had.
Okay, but Liam might not have been attacking. But what about how much does it mitigate the fact that maybe Max was attacking all those laps, but then he would have had like all those laps in clear air? Does that not help?
It helps, but if the other ones have got new tires and chase you, even if you are in free air, you need to use the tire up to keep the other people behind, So I mean, they knew what they were doing. It
would have been more fun to watch. Is what I'm saying.
All about you. It's all about you.
You're damn right.
He performs miracles. Just let the guy do another miracle. I just wanted to see him. I
think they should have put him on intermediates.
Yeah. Throw him on the full wets.
Yeah,
full wets
full
for Max. Yeah. All right. Agree to disagree. Next prompt.
John Elkann's comments about Lewis and Charles were out of line.
Full gas. He is the supremo. Obviously he owns most of the company. Or part of the company. I don't know how much he owns, more than me anyway. You say these people shouldn't speak. Obviously, he is allowed to critique because in the end he's the boss. But I think he shouldn't do that in public because, with Lewis, but Charles, the guy puts heart and soul into this, everything. What more you want from Charles? It's like. And saying it is not showing good leadership, saying, oh, this guy's doing it right, the mechanics are good, the engineers are good, but you guys are bad in public. And obviously, no comment about Fred. So it's like, I find it weird, to say the least, to make a comment like this from a person at that level of the company, the highest level is not, he doesn't have to ask anybody to do it or not to do it because he owns, he's the chairman of the company. So he's CEO and chair. No, CEO is Mr. Vinya, yeah. He's the chairman. It's like, if you have nothing good to say nothing, in that position, and obviously they won the sports car championship, which congratulations, but you cannot compare the two championships. You still need to win it, and I respect that they won it. It's very cool, but in the end, it's a balance of performance championship. While Formula One is a different kettle of fish, So you still need to win there. I'm not downgrading what they won in sports cars, but saying, okay, see what is possible to do. Yeah, how about helping it to make it happen?
Yeah, it's also weird because he's talking about the pit stop guy, the guys who do the pit stops and the engineers and all this, and downgrading the drivers. And I'm thinking Lewis is having not his best season, but they're the best driver combo. It's because of the drivers that they're even in this. The Mercedes Mercedes has won races, but the only reason they're in the hunt, like Antonelli, they have the best 2-car lineup of anybody, of Red Bull and of Mercedes. Like, aside from McLaren, they're the closest two. They have the best driver lineup. So I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
But and also, who decided the driver? It wasn't you and me.
Right.
Sometimes you have to look in the mirror. For sure, he agreed to hire Lewis. I would say Lewis would go and speak. That's my understanding. So sometimes it's as well, okay, I critique this guy, but I picked him. It's like maybe I've done something wrong if I made the wrong decision, if you feel so. But, I don't know what they said, to be honest. I don't really can get it together. They should not speak so much and drive.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's classic. It's a classic problem that they have with, they fired Prost, right? All those years ago. It's this thing where you can't even, they don't like drivers who talk too much, even obliquely, even a little bit. And, is this kind of the culture that that we see leaking out that makes it so hard for Ferrari to be great, where like management is so kind of toxic from up top?
Yeah, for sure it doesn't help if management, I say, distance it from the actual what is happening there by having been involved in. Senior management is involved in the team. The only one which can make magic happen there is John Elkann, because he's the boss, right. He's the chairman. But if he turns on his own people, which obviously he had a say in putting him in the seat, I would think so. And rightly I would think so. It's like, I don't know. Maybe he was a little bit emotional when he said that. We have to take that one as well. They won the championship and didn't even get in the points. Or both cars dropped out in Brazil. Can you imagine how disappointed he was? And maybe he was a little bit pissed off in good English. But then he should say, "I'm pissed off at this, guys."
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll walk it back and apologize, so it'll be fine. And then
no, it's
psychologically
full
speaking,
gas.
yeah,
it's full gas.
We agree again.
It's also for him to talk about the pit stops. I'm like, baby, that's fucking lipstick on a pig here. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we have the fastest pit stops. The car's a mess. The car's a mess. I mean, do you think really if this was
you have to lift and coast constantly?
They're constantly having to lift and coast. The car's all over the place. The brake balance is a nightmare. You think if this car was capable of doing better, that Charles Leclerc would not be able to figure it out, and Lewis would also not be figuring more shit out? There's nothing. They're squeezing all of the juice out of this fucking red fruit. This is a tomato, and they're calling it a fruit. I know it's technically a fruit, but baby, it's not feeling like it. And it's just like, listen, if he wants to have a conversation with them privately, I think he's well within his rights. Hey, this is bad for morale.
Yes.
Let's do this internally. Let's all band together and do this together. But for them to be fighting in the press, it's a very bad sign. Very bad sign.
He is now my second. He's now numbered the second best Jewish owner. Lawrence Stroll is the best.
Next prompt.
Ollie Bearman should replace Hamilton at Ferrari.
Gas. If Hamilton next year isn't any good, he should replace him. Ollie's doing a fantastic job. Shows what he's worth. I mean, beginning of the year he made mistakes. Now he's as clean as they get. I mean, blows away Ocon, which obviously it's a much more experienced driver, paid a lot more money, I guess, blows him away, leaves him just behind. And, I mean, I think if Ferrari doesn't give him a seat in 27, I think he will get a seat in one of the top teams anyway in 27. He will not be hanging around in the midfield, Ollie. That's my opinion, because he shows what he can do. I mean, his drives are so solid in the moment. Fantastic to watch.
Now, does Lewis have a contract for 27?
Lewis has
Wait, I called him up and asked him. Wait,
Lewis,
called him up and
the
asked
reports
him.
are that
Wait,
Lewis
hold
has
on.
a option. He has an option that if he wants to, he can exercise an option to stay on until 27. But it's up to him.
If he wants to, he can join us on the podcast as well.
That's right.
Guenther, do you have Lewis's phone number?
No.
Whose phone number? Do you have Max's phone number?
No, I think I've got Jost's phone number. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wow.
But I'm not sure. I'm not the guy which is proud of his phone numbers, If I need to speak with Max, I can get him one way or another, I will find him. So even if I don't have the phone number, but
we got Raymond's phone number? We got Raymond's phone number?
No. Well, why you want to job with him?
Well,
I will find him.
You said you could get to him.
Yeah,
how do you get to him?
If I want, I can get to him, yeah.
Oh, you got the dentist. You got the dentist. You got the
Max
dentist.
Verstappen's doing podcasts now. He's doing non-Red Bull sanctioned podcasts now. So maybe
which one is he doing? Yeah, it's time that he comes.
He did some Brazilian. He did some Brazilian
he did one
podcast.
with PK Jr.
Oh yeah,
DK Jr.
obviously
has a pod.
it's family. It's family. If he would be married to your sister, he would be on our podcast. So it's like, come on, it's his brother-in-law, which is doing it.
My parents would freak the fuck out. Anyway, so they could retire. So let me see. What were we? Oh yeah,
Ollie replacing Lewis.
Nice.
I mean, if he doesn't get it together for 26, he's a much cheaper option. He's a much cheaper option. Listen, Lewis has not been bad, but he ain't been 80 million or whatever the fuck they're paying him. So I think all Lewis fans, we gotta hold our breath for next year. We gotta hold our breath.
Hold the breath and cross the fingers,
I'm going break. Everyone slow your fucking roll. Promoting people too early can be a recipe for disaster. I think that you let Lewis stay there, obviously next year, and if he wants to renew that contract into 27, for sure. I don't think Lewis is staying much longer than that. And then is Ollie Bearman the next guy for that job? I think that absolutely is. It gets a little bit interesting if a Mercedes calls. Or if a McLaren calls, or if a Red Bull calls, and all of a sudden you could lose him to one of the other teams, then that becomes another a horse of a different color. But there's a lot of young talent in this game. Gabriel Bortoleto,
but Ollie's a Ferrari driver,
right?
Does that matter?
Carlos Sainz,
for sure.
Sainz wasn't a Ferrari driver.
But he's a junior. But
Piastri was an Alpine driver. Does it even matter at the end of the day?
They forgot to renew his contract. They forgot to renew. Fred will not forget to renew Ollie's contract. If he wants to keep him. So, but I think for sure in his contract he's got something. If in 27, I don't know if it's 27 or 28. He's not in a Ferrari. He's free to go wherever he wants.
Right.
But for sure, Ferrari's got some options on him. They paid half of his career to get where he is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've had a few weeks in a row now. Ollie Bearman's looking pretty damn good. Do you think Esteban Ocon is freaking out right now, Guenther? Think he should be scared?
I think he should be worried. Yeah. How many times did he get stuck in Q1 now, Esteban? Quite a few, and Ollie goes into Q3, quite a few. So, and it's not 10th in Q3, it's 8th in Q3. So, obviously, when Nico was beaten by Bortoleto, when Hülkenberg was beaten by Bortoleto, everybody talked, nobody talks about Ocon like this, But it's even worse than Nico because.
Well, it's interesting. So what do you think the after 2026? Who do you think is going to be in trouble? I think Hülkenberg might be in trouble. Ocon might be in trouble. There might be a lot of openings.
But is there anybody coming from behind to fill these openings, or are the current ones still, the best option, even if they are not 22 anymore? It's always gauging that one. As you say, in 27, there could be. How long does Fernando go on? He will be 45 beginning of 27. Lewis will be 42, and if he hasn't got a good season next year, as I said before, I think he will leave on his own wish. So there could be. But who is coming from behind? Which big talent?
Well, they're seeing these young guys. There's a lot of young. This rookie class has been so strong.
This was a very strong class, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And who knows where Liam Law? Who knows what's going to happen with these Red Bull boys? Liam Lawson might be out of a job. Yuki Tsunoda might be out of a job. This Paul Aaron kid is kind of just like hovering there, waiting to get his turn. And, we've seen that this young crop of drivers has been able to get in there and perform at a really high level. I think that a lot of teams should be, maybe thinking twice about how much the experience really matters.
Mm-hmm. And I think we're forgetting that a lot of these guys, in a couple of years, like in 27, when in Cadillac, VB and two, like they could be, those guys might go over there. Right. That's another two that might be aged out. And, if those rookies don't, if these rookies now don't end up, moving up, they might end up moving sideways to one of those teams. So
that's right.
it's exciting to think about what that breaks your
how
brain
the
to think about what that
positions
27, that 27
like.
grid will look like. Yeah.
That's right. Well, we got 3 more races. The next one up is the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Our standings, Guenther, they're starting to get a little bit closer. They're starting to get a little bit closer. You're still in the lead. You got 50 points. Matt, you got 43. I've got 38.
Yeah, you are.
Damn.
I'm slowly catching up on you, boys.
Yeah, long way to go,
catching
buddy.
Up on you.
Yeah.
Well, let's not forget. If you pick the right winner of the entire championship, then I think that we should count those points in there. And right now, I'm looking.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
That was never included. No.
Yes, it was.
That's a different championship. That's a championship on its own. Yeah,
That's right.
It's like constructors and drivers.
And drivers, yes.
Yeah, and we know who we all care about the drivers more, so I win. Okay, Guenther, who do you think is going to be on you? What's your podium? Guenther, what's your podium for Las Vegas?
My podium is, George, Lando, Max.
Completely given up on Oscar. Abandoned ship. The rats are scurrying.
It's a tough world out there, Yeah.
That's right, Matt.
I'm going Max, Oscar, Lando. I'm just completely going down with the ship. I'm the captain, baby. Yeah. I'm the captain
I
now.
am going Max, George, Lando. That's my podium for Las Vegas. And Guenther, the season. You have Lando. What's your season prediction? Who's winning this whole thing?
I'm not predicting anymore. I'm out of this. Because as soon as I predict somebody wins it, whoom, they're going. I mean, I predicted Oscar, danked. Then I said Max, danked, So I say Lando now, see if he danks just to see what happens.
Reverse psychology,
yeah, exactly, yeah. See if it works. The jinx, my jinx, if it works, Yeah.
Yeah, you believed in him last year. Let's not forget. You thought that he was going to win that championship.
Oh, that's right. So. That's right. You fucked him over last year.
Yeah. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
That's right. Perfect. Amazing. Matt, season prediction?
Yeah, let's go Lando. That's right.
Oh, guys, finally you see what I see.
Yeah, what you predict, Brian? What are you predicting?
I'm sticking with who I've been predicting, not the entire time, because there were a few times where I've abandoned ship, but I didn't swim out so far. I was able to climb back on. Lando Norris, baby, 2025 WDC. And that's all she wrote, folks. Okay, Vegas, we love you. We will see you we're all going to be in Vegas. We're going to record a pod there. We're not doing a live show, but we're going to record a pod there on Sunday. You'll see it. It's going to be a good time. Guenther, are we going to go gambling in Vegas?
No, I don't gamble because I'm so unlucky. I lose everything. So no, I can't do it.
Come on. You have better odds at winning in the fucking casino than you did winning a race at Haas. Come on, baby.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's not difficult, though. Yeah. Jesus Christ. I mean, that bar is pretty low, so.
You're going to feel like this is so easy. Oh, my God. You actually, you weren't, those odds were crazy when you were at Haas. Now, at least it's, almost 50-50.
So are you going to gamble?
Yes, and you're going to come with us, and we're going to play blackjack, all of us.
Jesus, I cannot play blackjack.
Come on, good. We'll tell you the moves.
Okay, all right, yeah.
We're going to play blackjack. Play a little bit of roulette.
I will be a billionaire going away from Las Vegas. So.
Do you have a lucky number, Guenther? Do you have a lucky number?
No.
Come on.
I'm not superstitious.
Oh, my God, this guy.
I'm boring, I give a shit about anything.
You've got to have a lucky number. You've got to have, there's at least a number that's around your head.
No. So which is yours?
I got a couple. 4.
You don't tell them to me.
Okay, 27. 27. And then when I go and I play roulette, I pick my drivers and I put a little bit of money on roulette on their numbers. So you do a little Max Verstappen 33. You do a little, I won a few on Yuki Tsunoda last year in Vegas, baby. Come on.
He didn't win anything.
Well, but we won at the casino, baby. That's what happened.
I did. You just think about yourself,
Vegas.
not about poor Yuki,
We'll see you in Vegas.
Vegas.
Goodbye, Wankers.